smiles with a healthy mind, body, and soul. Today I'm going to do a review of Koa coffee. Now I hadn't really heard that much about it until I was doing some research on the online, trying to figure out the good coffees as this whole thing is about. And so today I'm going to do a review of the Koa coffee. This one is 100% Kona coffee. This is the private reserve medium roast. And as I've said in the last one, if you want to see a more complete review, today's just going to be pretty much a taste test, because the actual review of it is on my blog, and I'll put the link in the description. So with that being said, I do want to do a little background on the Kona coffee, because Hawaii is the only state in the United States that actually grows coffee. And I didn't know that before I started doing a lot of research. But there are other, like Puerto Rico has coffee, but it's not a state. So it's interesting, because there's only a little bitty path, and there's the side of a volcano in Hawaii where they can grow coffee. But with all that being said, let's get to, because I don't want to waste. With all that being said, let's get to the tasting. That's what this is all about. So I'm going to start with the French press, go to the drip and the cold brew, and I'll give them a score, the awake score. I didn't go into much of it last time, but the awake score has the 6 categories: aroma, bitterness, boldness, drinkability, unique characteristics, and the cost, the overall cost. And we'll tally them up, and at the end there's a score. So I'm going to start with the French press and get to it. All right. Has a good, pleasant aroma. There's no bitterness smell to it. It smells really good and really smooth. Oh, the one thing I need to mention about this coffee is this is an 8-ounce bag, and this 8-ounce bag costs $22. That's before shipping. So almost $30 for an 8-ounce bag. So this is by far the most expensive coffee in the bag, and it's whole bean, which is, I really enjoy that, because I like to be able to grind my own. So the aesthetics of it and everything looks really good, because it's, the beans look really good. But let's get to the tasting. That's really good. It's smooth. It's really smooth. It's not bitter at all. So let's see the aroma. It's got a good earthy smell. It smells, it's not overpowering, it's not overwhelming, it has no like odors or no sour smells. It's a very pleasant smell. It's very smooth. It's not bitter at all. So let's see, bitterness, give it an 8. Aroma, it's just bold. It's not terribly bold, because it's a medium grind, or it's a medium roast. It's a medium roast. It's drinkability out of the French press is pretty good. I'm gonna go with probably a 7. Unique. Well, it's unique because it's, like I said, coffee, or Hawaiian coffee is the unique thing, because there's not a very big place. And this is supposed to be hand-picked from highest graded Kona beans that are over there. So uniqueness, I'm gonna give it an 8, because it is. And cost, I guess cost is one of those things you have to compare the quality with the price and the uniqueness and all that stuff. So I don't know, it's probably just it's a middle of the road, because it does taste good, but is it worth the money? That'll have to be determined at the end, So I'm gonna give it a 5, just because it is so expensive. And boldness, it's middle of the road. All right, so that's the French press, which is good. I like it. All right, here's the drip. My little 4-cup Mr. Coffee. All right, here we go. Smell. There's a little citrusy notes in that smell, so I'm gonna go about the same, because it doesn't. it's not as full-bodied as it is to the French press, as you would expect, because the way the French press operates, you know, the beans or the grinds actually get to sit in the water, whereas the drip press, it just washes over it. So, but it still has a good, it's not bitter at all. It has no bitterness, it's very smooth. So bitterness, I'm gonna go with the same. Boldness is the same. The drinkability like this would be very good. It's not. It's one of the smoothest coffees that I've had, and as far as drinkability, straight black. Because I usually don't drink it black. I usually put heavy cream in it, but this would be fine to drink. And the uniqueness is the same. And so yeah, if you like your coffee just straight black and you want it a real smooth, good, this is working out really good, because it's, so far there's not any bitterness whatsoever. And the last one's the cold brew. Like I said before, I'm not a terribly big fan of cold coffee, but it does. I want to be able to know all the characteristics, and it allows you to make a educated decision whether because you'll still choose these on your own, but you'll kind of get a heads up what's going into it and whether or not it's worth. If you're looking at the grocery stores and you just because you're overwhelmed with how many there are. Because I know I am each time I walk in there, so I'm just going to work my way through them and find out which one is bitter, which ones are full-bodied, which ones actually have a good taste. Because just the coffee itself is what we're reviewing. It's not the creamers or the sugars or the whatevers that you wanted, the stevias or any of the other crap that people want to put into it. It's just what is a good cup of coffee. And so far, this is really good. So here we go with the cold press. It's good. It's good, but it's not its strong point. I think the French press definitely is the best with this one. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's got a little bit of aroma, but it's not nearly as strong as these hot coffees, which allow it to open up. There is no bitterness. It's not very bold. The drinkability, it's drinkable. Unique quality, so I'm just going to keep them at the same. Alright, so the awake score for the cold coffee is 117 out of 180, which is the highest I've tested so far. And so far, out of all the coffees that I've drank, it's the smoothest, it has the best flavor, and it's definitely the most expensive. So those are all choices you get to weigh out, and yeah, so it's definitely, like I said, French press would be my first choice, because especially when you can grind, you get to grind your own beans, and you grind them a little bit coarser, and you run them through the French press, and you really get the full flavor and the full experience of this cold coffee. So thanks again for watching, and until next time.